Hey, welcome back to the Soul Pod. This is Stacy. This video is for anyone who thinks they may be starting a spiritual awakening or in a spiritual awakening or aren't sure if maybe that's what's going on. There's a massive shift going on in your life. This is going to be helpful. You ready? Marianne Williamson said the spiritual journey is the unlearning of fear and the acceptance of love. We're going to unpack that idea a little bit and look at some others here. I remember it must have been a decade ago. I was standing on a footbridge over a creek, beautiful creek. The trees overhead were barely letting light through, but I was just standing there listening to the sounds of the forest and looking at the light reflecting off the ripples in the water. And something in me opened. There was something in me that was opening at that moment. There was a lot going in my life that was broken. But in that same moment, there was something in me that just felt something. What was that? I knew something was changing because there was this beauty that was creeping in. You ever felt that? You ever had that sort of experience where things are a bit broken, but at the same time, you get these little glimpses of perfection, little glimpses, sometimes longer than just glimpses? That's what we're talking about. The spiritual awakening can happen this way. It can also be ugly and messy and, well, wrought with all sorts of perils. But this is where it starts sometimes. For me, it was incredibly untidy. Uh, Anxiety, panic attacks, things like that. If in your life you're having these moments where you're having deep anxiety, if you're having panic attacks, even, good news, that means you're cracked open. That means there's something inside screaming, it's time to change. It's time to come back to yourself. And that's ultimately what this is about. As Marianne Williamson said, the spiritual journey is about the unlearning of fear and the acceptance of love. And part of that love is a love for ourselves, a love for our life, love on so many levels. And the fear thing she talks about is all the layers of bullshit that have been placed upon the perfect you and me that we were the day we came into this world. We are a perfect being layered with fears, concerns, anxieties. Think of all the decisions that you've made in your life and how much those things are based on little fears. All those little fears add up and they become heavy. The trick is to get back to ourselves. You ready to get back to yourself? I've got some steps that'll help you get there. This is how we do it. Step one, when it comes to the spiritual journey, step one is embrace the uncertainty. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. If you're new to this and you're starting to feel that cracking open going on, and you feel like maybe it's all falling apart, but you know what? It may all just be coming together. You're just shedding your skin. And sometimes that's uncomfortable. So embrace the uncertainty. Be open to it. Lean into it. Just take it in. Just take it in. Be with it. Step two, create a sacred space. You need a space where you can go and just be you. It doesn't matter if it's a great place in your yard, just a comfortable seat somewhere under a tree, somewhere along a creek. I created a sacred space in my room, which a friend recommended. It turned out to be a really lovely thing. Sort of think of it as my altar, something about ritual that's really nice. It's an old steamer trunk that's more than 100 years old. It's got someone's initials tacked into it from World War One. And I often look at that and I just wonder what that guy's story was. Maybe a girl, maybe it was a nurse. It's definitely an old military trunk, but it's covered with memories, little pieces of things that matter. An abalone shell with stones in it from lovely places I've been, beaches and the rim of the Grand Canyon, and a gift from a friend who went to China, a little piece of the Great Wall. Shh, don't tell the Chinese. We made off with part of their wall. Little memories, and then a photograph of my grandmother and a picture of my dear departed dog. Put on your space, if that's what you create, little things that bring you joy, that make you smile. Nothing sad, uplifting, good memories, touchstones of your past. Create a space where you can just be you. and be comfortable and just settle in. Step 3, mindfulness and meditation. If you don't know what mindfulness is, look into it, just search it. You'll find plenty on it. But it's about just being here. Meditation, maybe you think, oh, I can't meditate. Been there, done that. I've had that same experience. When I first started meditating, it was a challenging thing because I was doing it all wrong. There are right ways to do it, there are wrong ways to do it. And there's also right ways that may be specific to you. So someone says, oh, this is the way you do it. Maybe that is how they do it. But don't assume that's how you do it. You have to figure out how you do it. And with the right guidance, you can do that. If you need coaching on that, use the link in the show notes and make an appointment with me and we can work through that. I'll help you find the perfect way to meditate for you. Step 4 is going to be seeking knowledge. You seek knowledge, but you got to stay open. See, the trick with this is read. Read things that resonate and watch for synchronicities here, because this is an amazing thing. When you're going through a spiritual awakening, you will have these weird things happen that are inexplicable. Like you will hear the name of an author, for instance, you've never heard of before in your life, or a quote from somebody, or the name of a book, and you're like, oh, that's interesting, whatever, and you'll blow it off, and then like right maybe the next day or right thereafter, it'll pop up again, the same author, the same quote, the same whatever. I've had this happen multiple times where in a very short period of time, somebody I've never heard of before or something, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, okay, the universe is speaking to me now. And I've had two different books pop up in my mind in a week's time. And there's a secondhand bookstore here in town that's only $1 a book back then. It was 10 years ago. And I thought, I'm going to go see if I can find either one of those books. And one of them is pretty damned obscure. And I found both of them. It's not that big of a store. So not only did the universe say, you need to read both of these books, but I went to find them somewhere that I thought, well, I got a shot in the dark of maybe finding them. And I found them both. That's a synchronicity. So watch for synchronicities. Be open. Seek knowledge. Stay open. Read. Be open. Don't question yourself too much. Don't question the signals and signs. Follow them. Because at this moment in your spiritual awakening, you are wide open. You are a giant receiver. You're an antenna, and the universe is talking to you in a way that maybe you've never been talked to before. Be open to it. Don't close. Okay. Step 5 is connect with like-minded souls, meaning, well, they're out there. You may not even know they're out there. You may not even know that you're like-minded, because you may be in the process right now as you're cracking open, as you're starting this spiritual journey, this extended piece of your spiritual journey. You may not realize exactly who you need to connect with, but when you put yourself out there, as in step 4, you're going to start running into people that are like-minded and that do click with you and resonate with you in a way that you may not realize or expect. But boom, there it is. I remember that I went to a weekend retreat when I was right at the beginning. A whole lot of things in my life were just falling apart. Like a lot of stuff just kind of came crashing down all at once. And a friend said, oh, you should go to this thing. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever, I'll go to it. Because, I trusted him. And at that point, I was whatever it takes. Therapy, weightlifting, dark chocolate, whatever it is. Just if it'll help me deal with depression and anxiety, I'll take it, right? So I did this thing. Ended up meeting amazing people, friends that I still have today. One of them, an incredibly dear friend, who's one of my greatest and most trusted advisors. And we just connected. We connected. You never know where you're going to find those people, but stay open to them, and you'll be surprised how they come your way. It's just a matter of staying open. Believe it or not, it is really that simple. The final step is to make sure to ground yourself in the everyday. Let me explain what I mean by that. You'll find, especially when you get into meditation and mindfulness, that you're better and better at being present here at the moment. And the reason this is at the bottom and listen and not at the top is because it takes some getting used to. You take some building up to get to this point where once you get better, when you get strong at your meditation practice, your mindfulness practice, you can do things like everyday tasks, mundane crap like doing the dishes or folding your laundry or weeding your garden. And in that moment, allow yourself to be present. The trick here is allow, not force. Just allow yourself to be present in that moment. And what you realize when you get to this step 6 I'm talking about is that the moment is where joy happens, is the only place where joy happens. Joy does not happen a second ago or 2 seconds from now. It happens right here, right now, and then it's gone. It's fleeting. It's so quick. But we miss it all the time because we're sprinting. So when you allow yourself to be present in this moment here, right now, that's where the joy is found. And you can find it just folding your laundry and just being here and just recognizing how wonderful this gift is. This gift of just being able to breathe in and breathe out. It's magic. And if you allow yourself to be here in this moment, you'll find so much joy. And you'll also get into the habit and the pattern of being present in the moment, and you'll find more joy in your life. And by the way, joy is this weird magnet. When you find joy this way, happiness follows it. Most people chase happiness. Happiness isn't really the target. It comes to you. That's what we all think we want, but happiness is fleeting. If you find joy and the ability to drop into it, you won't even worry about happiness. Happiness will hunt you down in your sleep. It's wonderful. In the end, the most important thing to remember is this: be kind to yourself. You are going through a shedding process right now where you are peeling off old layers of ugly jackets that don't fit. Don't be fearful of throwing those out. They don't serve you anymore. If they did, you wouldn't be going through what you're going through to get to this point. You wouldn't be feeling the things, the anxieties, the depressions, the panic attacks, the whatever, the absolute unhappiness, the knowledge that this cannot continue. Sometimes that's all it is. Just something must change. I am not happy with this life as it is. Odds are that's where you're at if you're going through a spiritual awakening in this moment. And ultimately, there's this great saying that you'll hear again and again if you haven't already, and that's that we are not humans having a spiritual experience. We're spirits having a human experience. And don't forget that. At the core of every single one of us is the spirit. This body is just the taxi that we're going for a ride in. We're just a silent passenger in the back seat, seeing through these eyes. Enjoy the journey. And remember, you are a spirit having a human experience. And you know what? This is one hell of an amusement park. It's important to enjoy the ride. Thanks for being here. Thanks for enjoying my channel. If you haven't liked it yet, like my channel. The more people do that, the more the algorithm recommends it, the more people get to find content like this that they find helpful. So thank you for that. If you haven't checked out the Soul Podcast yet, check it out. I think you'll really like it. It's longer versions of stories like this and other great content, as well as some great interviews from time to time. Got some great stuff coming up in season 4. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.